Stands right now, AEK coming up with a very big victory in the first game of this series, in which they won 92-85, shooting 25% from the field and having a very good night from the perimeter, led by Kendrick Ray. Well, you can see the road to the Final Four. Some teams have played this evening. As it stands, we're going to have a repeat of the quarterfinals where Irreversible Nürnberg will be taking on AEK, which was a matchup for AEK on the way to the final. And Kendrick Ray, who's leading the way for AEK right now, was playing for Irreversible Nürnberg back in 2018. So it could be that kind of evening if AEK comes out with a victory tonight. But can Telecom Baskets Bonn push them to a Game 3? And it looks like for AEK, big news for them is Nikos Gikas. You can see that warming up coming off the back of an injury of a broken hand. Well, as we mentioned, the boys from Czech Republic leading the series 2-0. Well, AEK holding that one game lead over Telecom Baskets Bonn, but it's all to play for here tonight live in the city of Bonn in the Telekom Dome. Well, again, if we go to game one last week, in the case of AEK, they had a very impressive shooting night from the perimeter, as did Telecom Baskets Bonn, but it was all about Kendrick Ray, who finished with 27 points. Now, Slaughter did have 10 rebounds, and a veteran who started his career, Nico Zizis, there you can see 36 years of age, returning to AEK 15 years later at the club where he first started his professional career, had 7 assists. Well, AEK, as we mentioned, really did thrive off the perimeter. They did have 46 points coming off the bench, as opposed to 28 of those coming from Telecom Baskets Bonn, and also only having 24 points in the paint for that matter. That's one thing about AEK, is they really like to spread the floor and make the most of the perimeter shooters they have in their team. You got the likes of Langford, Kendrick Ray, even Nikos Zizis, who didn't get off the mark, is known to have that ability from the perimeter. As for Telecom Baskets Bonn, there you can see Roman Polos Bartolo, the Cuban international who is renowned for his defensive efforts. Well, Martin Brunig is the top scorer for Telecom Baskets Bonn. He led the way in game one, along with Yoshiko Saibu. Remember, they missed 6 free throws at the end of the game that really could have brought them back with it, but it wasn't meant to be. Benjamin Simons having a very good game, but right now, they're in the game of their lives here, and it's live in the Basketball Champions League, the round of 16, Game 2, 2020, on the way to the Final Four. Well, Alec Brown had a very good start to the game in Game 1. Went very quiet in the fourth quarter. There's Mr. Veteran, 36 years of age. Fan favorite, remember, started his career for Kittanini Mavri, the Yellow Blacks, in the Waka. Well, Simons is one of those players that really can't spread the floor with his perimeter shooting, but one thing he's going to make sure he's going to have to do tonight is go in for those second opportunity points and really keep Telecom Baskets Bonn in this game. Well, again, ladies and gentlemen, one thing we're going to have to really make sure we look out for tonight is the high-flying tempo of players like Slaughter, not to mention Keith Langford. These players love to get up and down the court along with Kendrick Ray, and it's going to be a high-flying performance. Now, big loss right there for Telecom Baskets Bonn. As you saw, Eugene Lawrence not in the lineup. Eugene Lawrence was a teammate of Kendrick Ray, who actually played against this AEK team 2 years ago in that playoff series, in which they lost at home on aggregate. But the format has changed now. It is the best of 3. We're going to introduce now the players for the lineups. I mean, one player who was very quiet in the game for AEK last week was the Greek international, Chrissy Kapazé. You can see Kendrick Ray was their top scorer with 27 points. And coming out now is the 2-time NBA champion and last year's champion of the Basketball Champions League, Mario Chalmers. Well, Micholis now, also coming of age, 35 now, really being used for his veteran years along with Nico Zizis. You can see Nikos Gikas, as we mentioned, coming back from what was a scary injury where he broke his hand, but man, looks all clear to play in this one. He was actually 2 years ago leading for assists in the Greek domestic league, but now we'll get set to introduce our players from Telecom Baskets Bonn.
Hier ist unser Team, das Team der Telekom Baskets Bonn. Mit der Nummer 1, Yoshi Saibu.
Saibu, as we mentioned, was a leading factor. I mean, had such an impressive game. He's played very well this season here in the Basketball Champions League, but Again, he's going to have to maintain that going forward for 4 quarters. That's one thing. Missing those 3 free throws at the end of the game there in game 1. Really did send the confidence downtown. He's a top scorer, Martin Brunning, one of the most explosive players here in the Basketball Champions League, along with Alec Brown. Almost Polos Bartolo. A big performance will be needed from him. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the players now will shake hands with each other, pay each other the homage, give each other the accolades, but get set to introduce our officials for tonight's game. Well, very proud to say we have some of the finest officials here in world basketball. They've done an excellent job at all of our competitions, from the FIBA World Cup here now to the 4th season of the Basketball Champions League, and they will continue to do so here tonight, live here at the Telecom Dome. I just wonder what kind of lineups they're going to go with tonight. I mean, no doubt we'll see Nico Zizis starting at the point guard role for AEK. That's one thing Nico Zizis could get caught out in a matchup against Yoshiko Saibu is the quickness. But there you can see our officials tonight: Johan Rosso, Saviero Lanzarini, and not to mention Sasha Maricic coming from Serbia, Italy, and France. Well, Johan Rosso was the top referee in the FIBA World Cup in Foshan, in which we saw him do an excellent job in the games between Serbia, the Philippines, Italy, and Angola. Well, the starting lineups, we got Kendrick Ray, Vlado Yankovic, Linus Christopoulos, Nico Zizis, and Drake Grant on unchanged starting 5 from their victory last week. So Mario Chalmers and Keith Langford will both be coming off the bench this evening. It's going to be a contested fixture, which I hope to close this one out. As we mentioned, 6 for 9 from downtown, 3 assists, and had 27 points in the game. No doubt he's going to be the marksman for AEK. Well, Coach Ilias Papavedoro, a very well-respected coach who coached PAOK, that knows what it's like to be here in the Basketball Champions League and taking on a very big responsibility as a team who won the 2nd season of the Champions League. Well, as we mentioned, the Basketball Champions League in its 4th season, while Trey McKinney-Jones, Donald Sloan will make up the backcourt along with Brandon Frazier. Martin Brunning and big man Alec Brown will be down low. It's going to be tough now for Telecom Baskets Bonn without the likes of Zimmerman, and not to mention the man from the Big Apple, Alec Brown. There you can see only 2 rebounds away from having that double-double, but it's going to be tough tonight without point guard Eugene Lawrence in the lineup. Well, there is Coach Will Voigt, who again was with the Angola national team and with the Nigerian national team before at the Olympics in 2016. Again, a coach who's very well respected, only just taking the reins here in Germany. We saw one victory at the FIBA World Cup with Angola. A very tough group, but brings a lot of experience and knows how to get his players going the right way. Started his coaching career as a video analysis for the Los Angeles Clippers in the National Basketball Association. And looks to get things going here in the west of Germany. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Johan Rosso, the officials, they're ready for tonight's game. AEK want to make it one more victory to move on and play Iribas with Nymburk. But Telecom Baskets Bonn have something to say about that here, live here at the Telecom Dome. Martin Brunning, top scorer, will be leading the way, hoping to inspire his team to make it a 3rd game. It's live. It's the Basketball Champions League. Don't go anywhere as we're set for tip. Alec Brown, the big man, he'll be jumping with Christopoulos. Well, that's one thing about Alec Brown, is he's such a versatile player. I mean, Christopoulos as well, very similar in the way they attack the game, but I would say Alec Brown probably just might have the edge over Christopoulos in the low block. Both big players really like to step out and shoot the 3-pointer. Tonight, one player playing for a spot in the quarterfinal, while the other player playing for Game 3. It's live as we are set for tip. One thing about Yankovic, he's going to have to make sure that he gets some good looks on the perimeter tonight. But I mean, one thing for him is He's going to play that small forward off-guard role. Definitely be one of the top role players for this Ike team, but a lot's going to be said about Kendrick Gray. That's going to be the biggest defensive matchup and nightmare for Telecom Baskets Bonn. How do they handle his athleticism? How do they force him to take tough shots and double team him? As he's so quick and explosive to get into the basket, we'll find out. Well, the tip is underway. And Telecom Baskets Bonn will get the first possession here in the first quarter. Sloan getting away with a little bit of a push-off there on Kendrick Gray, but now they try to go pick and roll. He's off one screen now, goes all the way to the basket, kicks out to Martin Brunig. Brunig now takes the shot. Doesn't get it. Zizas comes up with a loose ball. Koplis now looking for the down low to Drake Grant. Now they go into Yankovic. This time they threw it down to the big fella. Well, he's got it by Alec Brown. Spins around Drake Grant. Strong move. Doesn't get it. Goes out of bounds. I think that's going to be Ike ball on the baseline. I think you can see McKinney Jones coming over for the double team to help out Alec Brown. But again, look at this for a spin out move by the nephew of the four-time NBA champion, Horace Grant. Jesus now having to get this ball into Drake Grant. Gets a handoff. Pick and roll time now. Zizas gives back to Drake Grant. Grant kicks this one out. Chrissy Koplis. Yankovic, he takes a three. It's an in and out. Doesn't get it. And this is where Telecom Baskets Bonn have to push in transition. Well, Alec Brown. 1, 2, 3. Bitte schön. Nails the first three-pointer of the game. Well, tough shot by Alec Brown. Now, Ike try to respond down the other end. They can't get things going, but see Chrissy Koplis kicks this one out to Zizas. Zizas off one screen. 4 on the shot clock now. Kendrick Gray's got to get something going. Steps back, big time three. Kendrick Gray and Dio Tria Paragalo. Well, he nailed that one. Step back, big time three-pointer. That was one thing we saw last week from both of these two teams, really trying to force the roll from downtown. Had some good looks, but well, Alec Brown throws that one away as Martin Brunig was not ready for it. Look at this. I mean, this is just beautiful. Yatris Efharisto. Thank you, Kendrick Gray. Big time shot. And Alec Brown, Dankisha, nailed it. Jesus in the lane, gets the foul, and one. Well, the veteran is going to free throw line to make it a three-point play. Big time shot by Nico Zizas. Remember, Nico Zizas was a member of the Greek national team during the golden age in the mid-2000s when they won the Eurobasket back in 2005. Was unable to be at the FIBA World Championship in 2006 in Japan where they beat the United States, but man, a man who's played in some of the biggest teams here in Europe. This is where Telecom Baskets Bonn have to get things going a little bit quicker and try to move the tempo. There's a foul under the basket. It looks like it's on Kendrick Gray. Here comes a handoff now with Zizas. And again, just look how he has the vision and the ball handling, the basketball IQ to make that M1. Coach Will Voigt now will be wanting his players to just push the tempo a little bit more and trying to get things going a bit better in transition. John now comes off the back screen. Takes this one out to Martin Brunig. He takes one dribble, takes a jump shot, hits the front rim. Ray with the rebound. Ray now coming off one screen with Chrissy Koplis. Pop with the big fella. Chrissy Koplis now got it by Alec Brown. Kicks out. Kendrick Gray. Yatris doesn't get it. We got an offensive foul called. An illegal screen was set under the basket, but again, too much time and space there for Kendrick Gray. I mean, usually we'll knock those down 9 times out of 10. Brown now kicks out to Brunnig. Well, here comes the defensive pressure from, looks like we've got a out of bounds violations. Martin Brunnig steps out. That's an unlike turnover there from Martin Brunnig. He's usually their most reliable player, but now I can just start to build its momentum now here in the early stages of the first quarter. This is now coming off one screen, and again, another foul's been called, and that's the second team foul for Telecom Baskets Bonn. See the way I'd like to play in their half court, get the ball moving, get a few cuts going to the basket. More importantly, it's all about the pick and roll with Nico Zizis and trying to isolate Kendrick Ray on the wing and let him just attack the basket. Well, Joshiko Saibu checks into the game. Had a very good game in game one, and probably just going to have to put Nico Zizis under a lot of pressure. Kendrick Ray now goes all the way to the basket, kicks out. Chrissy Kopoulos takes a three-pointer, doesn't get it. Alec Brown with a rebound, and now this is where Telecom Baskets Bonn have to push in transition. They get the shot. Well, no, don't take it. Brown takes another three. Brown from downtown. Alec Brown nails it. Well, just like last week, comes out of the game, hitting it on fire right now. He's 2 for 2 from downtown. Big time shot. Trey Grind now going pick and roll with Nico Zizis, and the veteran turns it over. Alec Brown comes up with it, and now Martin Brunnig, we got a bit of takeaway, and he'll lay that one up. Right now, Telecom Baskets Bonn take a 2-point lead. Unlike that of Nico Zizis, you see he took a little bit of contact, but again, most reliable player, turning the ball over. Zizis off the screen, kicks out. Yankovic for three. Yankovic nails it. A big-time three-pointer. Yankovic, again, just like last week, as Saibu tries a three-pointer, doesn't get it. Yankovic almost lost it. Now Zizis hugs the sideline as he tries to take this one, pick and roll underneath the basket. Dre Grant, bit of pressure, goes up, doesn't get it. Well, there's a defensive matchup that Dre Grant's having a bit of trouble with. I mean, Alec Brown stands at about 6'11". Dre Grant only 6'9", and Martin Brunnig with the easy dunk. Well, how wide open does he need to be? I mean, that's a problem for Ike. They got to come over and play that help side defense, not allow Martin Brunnig any time or space. Roll into the basket off the pick and roll. Takes a shot, doesn't get it. And now Telecom Baskets Bonn can push in transition. Does a Eurostep, bit of contact, and a foul's been called. And it looked like Dre Grant took a bit of a shot, but Bond's going to go to the free throw line now for 2 shots. Well, there was the dunk there by Martin Brunnig. And again, watch how wide open he is off the pick and roll. No help side defense. Ike have to be better. Well, Trey McKinney-Jones, as we saw last week, is one of those perimeter players. Again, has a lot to offer. In a game like this, he's going to have to step up and really work hard to make his own shot and get that space and time. But, again, does a good job against the 2 free throws right now. Short on the first one. Well, he makes a second one. He gives Telecom Baskets Bonn a 2-point lead now. Well, Keith Langford now comes back into the game. That could do like a little bit of wonder from the perimeter, just try and spread the floor. But right now, they already have 3 tray balls. The foul is on Joshiko Saibu. And again, Joshiko Saibu has to be smart and just try and put Nico Zizis under a bit of pressure. Not get into too much foul trouble, but Slaughter now sets a screen for Zizis. Zizis pulls up in the mid-range, doesn't get it. Slaughter comes up with an offensive rebound, doesn't keep it alive as Nico Zizis commits a foul. We Slaughter did a good job to just even try and keep the ball alive, but again, no movement from Ike. Led to the turnover. Saibu now curls the screen, looking for someone to kick out to. Saibu takes it in with his right hand. Oh, almost turned it over. Keeps it alive. No double dribble call, but he will kiss the backboard. Gives Ike a 4-point lead. Now you see the whole defense just pause there because they were trying to wait for the official to call something, but nothing was called. Yankovic now looking to back down. Gets him on the low block, kicks this one out. Mashulis with the pump fake. The ball movement now. Langford all dribbled it off his foot and another turnover. Langford on the penetration. Now watch here by Saibu. Makes a penetration. And for me, that's a double dribble. You can see the Ike players. The reason why they just halted there and just stopped for a moment, but again, they got to play to the whistle. Backdoor play. Alec Brown, good hands. Almost had it alive, but goes out of bounds, and it will be Ike ball. That's much better from Ike there. You can see the double team coming down low because they know what a trouble Martin Burnett can be once he gets the ball in the low block, but Alec Brown unable to feed the big fella. Takes in the lane now. Slaughter goes handoff now in the lane. Zizas kicks out, but gets the deflection now. And you can see that Nico Zizas was going to try and throw the alley-oop up to Slaughter, but great job by Telecom Baskets Bonn just clogging the lane there. Not allowing the big fella any time and space, but also Benjamin Simons just able to get a hand in the passing lane. Now Ike have it 6 seconds on the shot clock with Masholis. Langford now's got to get something going to the basket. Langford steps back, smooth move, takes a three. Hannah, Dio, Tria, Paracolo. Big time three-pointer by Keith Langford. Again, you got to love a player that you can just throw the ball to and just, again, make that time and space, almost like a James Harden style, getting that three-point shot off. McKinney Jones now pulls up from mid-range and doesn't get it. Zizas with a rebound, and now they can push in transition. Zizas in the lane, puts up a tough one. And the veteran now is going to go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Well, there's the step-back James Harden-esque three-pointer by Langford. Someone call the Houston Rockets because it's all about the man playing for Ike right now.
Substitution.
Now the 2-time NBA champion and last year's finalist and winner in the Basketball Champions League. I mean, that's 3 big-time trophies he's got to his name. Checks into the game, Mario Chalmers. That's one thing about Ike is you can see the amount of depth they've got in the backcourt along with the post play, but in their backcourt they got started with the likes of Zizas along with Kendrick Ray, but then they've also got Langford, Mario Chalmers, not to mention Nikos Gikas coming off as well, but Gikas, I'd be surprised to see him play tonight coming off a big injury to his hand, but Zizas missed the second free throw, but we got a tie game now. Just over 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Remember, it's game 2 here in the round of 16 of the Basketball Champions League. Ike leading 1-0 here in this series. Simons takes a three, but it won't count because Alec Brown gets called for the illegal screen. Well, that's a bit of a silly foul to give away by Alec Brown because, again, they're going to need him in the game, but they're also going to have to rely on him. Mario Chalmers now go to the free throw line for 2 shots. And again, as we mentioned about the discipline and the upside defense from Telecom Baskets Bonn, they just got caught out there as Mario Chalmers splits both defenders. And again, just gets away with a slight push off on Benjamin Simons, I think. But Nonetheless, two-time NBA champion and one-time Basketball Champions League champion. We'll go to the free throw line now for 2 shots. Well, what a storytell career of him if he can win back-to-back Champions Leagues. But we'll find out here as Mario Chalmers takes the first one. He misses the free throw. Off one screen now. Saibu in the lane. Saibu lays that one up again. No help side defense by the Kitchener Mavri. As the Queen gets caught out there. That's what Telecom Baskets Bonn have to do. Keep attacking those gaps and just get to the free throw line. Langford now in the lane. Kicks out to Zizis. Zizis mid-range. Gets rejected. Well, we got transition now. Fraser almost loses it. Kicks this one out. Yorman Polo Spartolo doesn't get it. What a block by Joshiku Saibu. Chalmers in the lane. Kicks out to Langford. Langford 3 in the corner, takes it. Yatris gets it. Big time 3-pointer. He gives the Queen a 2-point lead. Simons now pulls up for 3. He nails it. And he puts Telecom Baskets Bonn back up by 1. And just like game 1, it is a shootout right now. It is on and it has started. This place is about to start cooking on both sides. Here's the isolation they want with Keith Langford in the corner, and again, guided by Simons, goes baseline, draws the contact, and again. I mean, that is a mismatch all night long if you think about it, because Simons a tough player, but there's the 3-point shot earlier as he knocks that one down. But you're asking Benjamin Simons here. Here you got Joshiku Saibu on it, but you got to get a hand up. You got to make him go to the basket. I mean, this guy, he nails those. And again, no help side defense from the Queen as Joshiku Saibu. Already Telecom Baskets Bonn in the penalty with 1:20 to go here in the first quarter. Langford now shoots the free throws. Another veteran player, respectfully having a fantastic professional career with different parts of the globe, of course. This reminds you of that old play that played for Aris, Jeremiah Messi, in the mid-2000s with the left hand, and just a bit smaller. Simons takes a Hail Mary 3. 1, 2, 3, nails it. Well, we want a cookout. We got a shootout, baby. Benjamin Simons nails that one. And once Langford got Langford down low to Slaughter. Slaughter gets fouled. And that's a problem now for Telecom Baskets Bonn, because the last minute, any foul they commit. Look at the range. This guy, no fear. He will let that one go. Well, Slaughter's not the best free throw shooter, but again, one thing that Telecom Baskets Bonn have to make sure is they keep him off the board tonight. You can see with his athleticism and just physical presence in the low block, that's what he's going to do for the Kitchener Mavri tonight as he makes the second free throw. Well, just under a minute to go here in the first quarter as Telecom Baskets Bonn hold on to a 1-point lead. Now AEK a 5 for 9 from the free throw line already, while Telecom Baskets Bonn have only gone for 2 free throws. Backdoor now, Martin Brunner goes up, gets the one. And the top scorer, who averaged 11.5 points per game in the regular season, this backdoor play, Slaughter completely, well, goes up for the double team, which leaves Mashulis with a mismatch. Martin Brunner had an excellent career for MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg when they made it to the Final Four at the Walker in 2018, but you see now really maturing as a player, becoming sort of the franchise go-to player for Telecom Baskets Bonn, as Linos Christopoulos checks back into the game for Kitrini Mavri. Down to Chrysikopoulos. Has the mismatch against Simons. Kicks this one out. Chalmers had the three-pointer, didn't take it. Down low, Slaughter with the throwdown right over Martin Bernick. Well, he cleaned up with that one. The effortless dunk. Cuts it down to a three-point ball game, and now Telecom Baskets Bonn can have the last shot of the first quarter. Yoshiko Saibu in the lane, turns it over, and another foul. So now Yankovic will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Terrible turnover by Yoshiko Saibu. Well, that is just a beautiful dunk there. Effortless, ripping the ring down. Almost does a pull-up in the process as well. Well, Yankovic now makes the first free throw and again cuts down to a 2-point lead with 4.2. So now, Missile makes this one. Telecom Baskets Bonn will have a little bit of time to get the ball up the court. Makes it 2 for 2 from the stripe now. 1-point ball game. We got to push this one down the court. Splits of defense, puts up the three-pointer. Doesn't get the drop. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the first quarter, it is the visitors trail this one by 1 point. The Telecom Baskets Bonn just squander a 5-point lead there. They are leading this one 24-23. Well, we'll show you some highlights. We'll also show you some stats from the first quarter. But game 2 now at the round of 16 here in the Basketball Champions League. Remember the winner. Well, if Ike win this game, it'll be a rematch of 2018 against Irabasco Nymburk, as they are now 4 for 7 from downtown, exactly as Telecom Baskets Bonn. I mean, again, if you looked at the field goal percentages in the last game, Alec Brown there nailing that one. Very similar between these two teams. Kendrick Gray simply unstoppable. 27 points on the last game, along with 8 rebounds. Well, Kendrick Gray is just simply a top-class basketball player. You can see coming from a small program in the United States of Quinnipiac University, but again, just what an exciting talent he is to watch, along with the veteran Nico Zizis. Alec Brown there hitting his second tray ball on the first quarter, but what's to play for here in game 2 of the round of 16 Basketball Champions League. Our hosts leading this one by 1 point.
So, stehen wir mal auf. Auf geht's ins zweite Viertel. Hier sind sie zurück, die Fans. Der Telekom Baskets Bonn. Auf geht's.
Well, we start the second quarter now as the Queen will have the first possession right now. They're going with a dribble handoff, and the same lineup along with Mario Chalmers, Keith Langford, Yankovic, Chrysikopoulos, and Slaughter. Chrysikopoulos now backs down against Yeoman Polos Bartolo off the backboard, nailing that one. I think the officials just giving Chrysikopoulos a bit of a warning. Say keep it down, no arguments. Well, right now, take a 1-point lead here in the early stages of the second quarter, sorry. In the first half is Yoshiko Saibu. Down low to Martin Bernick. Now Martin Bernick just too big and just too strong over Yankovic, and he'll go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Remember, Martin Bernick averaged 11.5 points per game in the regular season of the Basketball Champions League, and really is the go-to player here at the Telecom Dome. It's amazing to watch his career because he was more of a role player when he was a part of that MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg team back in 2018 that made the Final Four, which AEK won the championship in 2018. But now you can see the move over the Telecom Baskets Bonn. He's now the go-to player. Tying the game up with a free throw. AEK do a good job of breaking the 2-2-1 press from Telecom Baskets Bonn. But now heavily guarded by Yeoman Polos Bartolo. Langford off one screen, steps back down low. Right idea, doesn't get it. Chalmers comes up with it. 2 seconds, throws one up, doesn't get it. Yankovic follows in. Nobody boxed him out. And Telecom Baskets Bonn pay the price. Life just kept going in for those second chances. And again, that's one way you're going to win this game. In the lane, Saibu goes up and lays it up. Well, Trey McKinney-Jones, sorry. Chalmers now heavily guarded. Just dealing with the pressure now. Gives this one up to Keith Langford. Langford goes pick and roll with Slaughter. Out to Langford. Chrissy Koppelus now backs down against Simons. Chrissy Koppelus in the low block goes up. Simply unstoppable. Well, simply too big. Magalo. Foul off the ball now. I think this one they called on. Chrissy Koppelus' Fraser just had just a bit too much contact on the ball. Looking for a big post move. You don't see many back down post players. Chrissy Koppelus keeping it alive. Big time play. That day you can see Fraser going to the basket, just laying that one off the glass. Saibu steps back, takes the three-pointer, deep three, doesn't get it. Martin Brunig jumps up high. Martin Brunig is just keeping Telecom Baskets Bonn in this game in the low block. Just using that athleticism and physicality and showing no fear against Slaughter. I mean, Slaughter's one of the best in Europe with the experience and his athleticism, but Martin Brunig not backing down, that's for sure. Saibu comes up the screen, takes a three in the corner, gets a contact, and the call's been made, so now he's gonna get the 3 free shots at the free throw line. It was a delayed call, but it's definitely the right call because there was definitely contact from Mario Chalmers, that's for sure.
Spielerwechsel substitution, Telecom Baskets.
Well, the free throws now will come from Yoshiko Saibu. But now remember, mental edge now as he had a moment at the end of the game at the Waka last week where he missed 3 free throws that they needed to get back in the game. There you can see he makes the first one. You just got to see what a player like Saibu offers to your team. Again, he's just able to deliver that athleticism in the backcourt, but more importantly, it's just the ability to score. And you want to see a player like Yoshiko Saibu step up and deliver from the perimeter, but it's something he's going to have to do tonight. He ties the game up with a second free throw. This time, 3 for 3 from the stripe. No mistakes from Yoshiko Saibu. Again, here comes a 2-2-1 press on Telecom Baskets Bonn, as I narrowly escape a backcourt violation. Jesus doesn't use the screen now from Chrissy Koppelus, but gives this one up to Langford. On the shot clock now, Langford takes a tough fadeaway. Somehow, someway, Langford gets it to drop. Big time shot by Langford. And that was a fadeaway where he probably wasn't even looking at the basket. I mean, he had the hand in his face, but he still got it. And an offensive foul's been called on Yeoman Polos Bartolo. Well, he had a couple of those called in last week's game, and again, hasn't learned his lesson. Gotta be cool, gotta be contained, and not too many fouls called on him. You can see the slight bit of contact, but right now, looking to push down the other end. Langford wants to go pick and roll with Slaughter. Langford makes a drive, takes another fadeaway, and this guy has come ready to play. Langford simply cannot miss. He's got the hot hand. He is cooking out there. Lane now, strong move. Can he get it to go off the backboard? Doesn't get it. And now Ike can push in transition. Now Langford all the way. Just now slows this one down. Kicks out to Zizas. Down low to Linos Christopoulos has the mismatch. Here comes a double team. Mario Chalmers. Chalmers, Yatris does not get it. Transition now. Lay this one up in beautiful fast break basketball by Telecom Baskets Bonn. You gotta love the tempo of this game right now. Both teams loving to get it in the half court and go through the sets, but any opportunity, really like to play that showtime up-tempo basketball. Langford off one screen. Langford takes another three, doesn't get it. Rebound by Martin Brunig. And now Telecom Baskets Bonn can push. Simon now has the ball. Comes off one screen with Alec Brown, crosses over. She could side but lose it. Chalmers with a steal. Now Mario Chalmers looking to take on. Blocking fouls called. That's a tough one because it looked like Trey McKinney-Jones got set, but I have to see the replay of that. Here you can see, here's the, look at this for a fast break, and Yorman Polos Bartolo spotting out Trey McKinney-Jones. Well, that's a right call there because you can see he just doesn't get his feet set and goes into Mario Chalmers. Well, they didn't have a free throws is going into the basket for a layup, so it will be 2 free throws now for the last season's champion here in the Basketball Champions League. He makes the first one. Well, when you talk about being a team that wants to get to the Final Four, I mean, these teams have the caliber of players and the style they like to play, but again, if you look at Ike, it's just the depth they've got. I mean, the weapons they've got on the bench. You've got Kendrick Ray still. You've got Zizas as well. And Dre Gronch has checked in for the big fellas. It's almost like they've got a double for every position. And another offensive foul has been called on Alec Brown. It's the right call. Well, Brown just pivots over and uses his shoulder to completely knock out Linos Christopoulos. Well, Christopoulos, I think the officials are going to look just to examine to see if it's going to be an unsportsmanlike foul, but we'll have a look at the replay. And there's Brown. I can't imagine that would be an unsportsmanlike foul, but the question is, does Alec Brown have eyes on Linos Christopoulos? Well, excellent decision there by Johan Rosso just to call it a regular foul because it does just look like he's with his arm over. It doesn't look like he's intending to hit Linos Christopoulos. The foul has been called. Again, I think they've called this one. They've called that one on Trey McKinney-Jones. Telecom Baskets Bonn starting to lose that discipline right now in defense. That was not something we saw in the early stages of Game 1 last week. Will Voigt, Coach Will Voigt, sorry, just having a word with the officials. Trying to get them to get their players to calm down, but Christopoulos now backs down against Martin Brunig. In the lane, Brunig now fades away, doesn't get it. It's a rebound, and now Yoshiko Saibu can push this one in transition. He's off the screen now, goes in the lane, draws a foul, and he'll go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Well, smart move by Trey McKinney-Jones.
Substitution Bonn.
Well, Trey McKinney-Jones stands at 6'5", originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Played at the University of Miami. He started his professional career in the G League back in 2013. Making a move out to Europe where he started in France. Also played in the likes of Israel. Had a brief stint with the Indiana Pacers. While spending last season in the Japanese basketball league, the Chiba Jets of Funabashi. Now finding his home here. His first season of pro basketball here in Germany. And again, Ike, the 2-2-1 press from Telecom Baskets Bonn. Langford crosses over, steps back, big time three. Keith Langford doesn't get this one. Looks like another foul. Telecom Baskets Bonn. So another 2 free throws for Ike.
Got to play. They throw it all the way down the court. He gets it. He throws it up. Unbelievable. Well, that'll put Vitoretta, give him a smile going to halftime, and that will certainly upset Georgia.
And now, Telecom Baskets Bonn can push. Alley-oop. Oh, baby! It is a high-flying show from the team from Germany. They're throwing everything up. They're putting on a show. Kendrick Gray behind the back. Oh, big-time three. Kendrick Gray. And Dio Tria Bacalo. Kendrick Gray.
Now Spisu in the open floor, gets it down low, swatted by Lima. Wow, he was up there. Not in my house, he says.
Dijon up by 12 at home, game 1, round of 16, knockout stage. And what a beautiful play. And isn't that the knockout punch delivered by Dijon? What a pass by Axel Julien. Teamwork of the highest level.
Booker has it knocked away, pocket pick. Oh, what a block. Spiked that one against the backboard.
That's in Tehran for 3. And there for the follow, putback dunk is Kyle Wilcher. And that was done out of frustration because he has certainly not had it his own way tonight.
Hankins misses the put down. Chance to run here for Randirmar. They push. Great push. Nice pass. Super finish. And Yilmaz gets the 2, and they turn defense into offense. A chance for Feld in a run. Gives it up. Ramo in transition. Oh! Spiked it and said, take that. Jerusalem trying to break open the game here. Lead at 65-61. Timeout.
And has the ball knocked away. A good play by Tascaran. It's going to be an easy one. It's going to be Nick Johnson. A whirly-bird special. Nice 360 from Nick Johnson. Look at this. You don't give me chances to have a 360.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now the second half here of Game 2 of the round of 16 here in the Basketball Champions League playoffs. As you see, Keith Langford top scorer in the game. Only player in double digits with 11 points so far, as he has 3 trables so far here in the game. He hasn't featured that much, Keith Langford. He's played under 10 minutes, but here's an interview right now from Coach Will Voigt.
I thought we, gutted out a lot of tough things. Obviously, we had early foul trouble that was hard for us. For us, we have to take care of the ball and rebound. I think if we can do those 2 things, we're in good shape.
But rebounding is better than last week, I think, no?
Yeah, it couldn't get worse than it was last week. But even then, I think we can do a better job of controlling the boards.
Thanks very much.
Okay, Dr. Shem.
Well, as Coach Will Voigt saying, the team is leading right now, 19-13 on the boards. And again, they had a tough time last week in the Waka. As you can see, Yoshiko Saibu in a good game as he did last week. Again, he finished the game. Unlucky circumstances where he missed those 3 free throws that killed his confidence. But again, he's come out playing very well this evening. 7 points so far. Both teams came out on fire in the early stage of the first quarter, but cooled down. Neither team making a 3-point field goal. And here is Coach Ilias.
After the first half, what have you been satisfied with? What do you need to improve?
Of course, the defensive rules. We must control their fast break. It's a great team in every fast break offense, early transition offense, and to play better personality defense, I mean, in 1-1 situation. This is the key, and of course to score, don't miss so easy free throws, and to score the open shots.
How can you create more offensive rhythm?
Of course, to create more, but that's why we must play better defense, to find our rhythm for the backward. This is the important thing.
Thank you very much.
Well, that was Coach Ilias Papadeodoro, a very well-respected coach in Greece, originally from Korydallos, Greece. Started his coaching career in the junior setup with Athinaikos. Teams such as Marco Vulo and Nia Kafisia. Also worked with the Greek national teams between 2013 to 18. Also had a brief stint in Kazakhstan, but most recently with possible Champions League Greek rivals PAOK in Thessaloniki. Yeah, very well-respected coach. The Greek Cup this season already with the queen of Kitini Mavri Ike, the Kazakh champion in 2017. So, yeah, I can keep going on and pay the homage to this man, but right now, he knows his team is possibly 20 minutes away from a quarterfinal berth in a rematch against Irreversible Nürnberg. The Telecom Baskets Bonn lead by 4. They might have something to say about that as we're set now for the second half. Telecom Baskets Bonn now will have the first possession here. See, just putting the full court pressure. Looking for the pick and roll option. And movement off the ball has to be better. Like, turn it over right away. Yankovic comes up with a steal, tries a Euro step, easily lays that one. Whoa, missed the layup. And that one ripped in and out. And very unlucky circumstances. The Yankovic there, he made a beautiful Euro step going in, avoided the block. Goes up for an early 3, gets fouled. Goes on Zizas, and he's gonna go to the free throw line now for 3 free shots. Bit of a slow effort from Sloan, but Zizas has to be better. I mean, look at this for a missed layup, the in and around, and I mean, everybody thought that was going in, and Yankovic can't believe it. He makes the first free throw. Donna Sloan, the former Indiana Pacer. He's a 3 for 3 from the stripe, originally from Louisiana. At Texas A&M. The veteran player now, 32 years of age. Yankovic down low to Masholis. Masholis goes up, makes a contact, no foul called. On now with a 7-point lead. Sloan now steps back, big time three. 1, 2, 3, bitte schön. Big time three from Donald Sloan. Well, that is just back-to-back now from Donald Sloan, having that confidence. Goes to early 6 points there in the second half. One of the basket has been called on Frazier. Light just struggling now to make that rhythm going here in the second half. Watch this from Donald Sloan. Takes on Yankovic, but look at the step back here. Gets the shot off in time. It's good. Donald Sloan get things going early now for Telecom Baskets Bonn here in the second half. Langford now pulls up for a three. Keith Langford responds down the other end. Well, it was only a matter of time before he got things going. Putting it back down now to a 7-point ball game. Langford going up to 14 points so far. Top scorer in this game. Unload to Brunig. Brunig gets it under the basket. Kicks it out to Sloan. Sloan, another three. Doesn't get it. Now I can push in transition. And Yankovic kicks out down. Go back down to Yankovic. Spins around. Beautiful move. Gets the M1. And he's going to go to the free throw line now to make it a 3-point play. Well, again, you got to love the ball movement now from Ike. The ball goes into the low block. Kick back out to Nico Zizis. Back down to Yankovic. Quick spin out. Donald Sloan picks up his 4th personal foul. That's a big loss now to Telecom Baskets Bonn. Well, it doesn't make the 3-point play, but Telecom Baskets Bonn just still hold on to a 5-point lead. Saibu now comes off the lane. Saibu goes in with a finger roll. Man, that is an easy layup. You'll ever get no help side defense. A lot of questions to be asked about the rotation of the Ike players in the back four. Well, Yoshiko Saibu now goes up to 9 points. So they throw that one. Langford has trouble catching. He goes out of bounds. Well, he'll be relatively pleased now with their effort. In the lane, Brunig throws it down. Well, he ran the fast break like a trailer, and Ike have fallen asleep. The Telecom Baskets Bonn are running wild here in the Telecom Dome. They're trying to push this to a 3rd game. He's off one screen, has a wide open look, doesn't take the shot. Langford just gets his pocket pick, keeps his dribble alive now. 5 seconds. Langford takes a tough shot, no foul called. So now will be Ike ball on the baseline. With 2.9 on the shot clock. Great man-to-man defense by Yoshiko Saibu. Now watch this transition. Where's the big fella? There he is. Throws it down. Martin Brunig. 2.9 now. Yankovic gives up. They got to shoot it. Zizis on the baseline. Nico Zizis nails a jump shot right at the dying moments of shot clock. Cutting down to a 7-point deficit, and now Telecom Baskets Bonn will try to get into the half-court set. We got Alec Brown out there. And McKinney Jones, and a charge is called. Man-to-man defense by Keith Langford, just getting in front of McKinney Jones and just getting his feet set. Now Slaughter. Slaughter kicks this one out. Langford in the corner, doesn't get it. Rebound by McKinney Jones, and now Martin Brunig in transition. Once it's over, takes on Slaughter, goes up. Martin Brunig can't get it. Shola secures the rebound, and now Nico Zizis will hug the sideline down in transition. Comes off another screen from Slaughter in the lane. It's a tough one, doesn't get it. Slaughter, and that's a good job by Alec Brown, not letting Marcus Slaughter get those early looks on the rebound. Jones now on the ball, coming off one screen, backs down, goes in, takes a little floater in the lane, doesn't get it. So the foul's being called. Now, I'm not sure if they called the foul on Keith Langford. They've called that one. They have called it on Keith Langford, so there was a bit of contact. So now Telecom Baskets Bonn will go to the free throw line with Trey McKinney Jones, sorry. As we already mentioned, originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He grew up as a big-time Milwaukee Bucks fan. He had a good season last year playing in the Japanese Basketball League for the Chiba Jets Funabashi. He was also the Hungarian champion back in 2016 and the NBA G League champion back in 2014. So a lot to his name as a professional basketball player. Like, turn it over. Able to keep it alive. Yankovic now struggling to get the ball inbound, but Marcus Slaughter just has to come back and give the backcourt a little bit of help. 6 on the shot clock now for Nico Ziz's got to go up and pick and roll. This one, Yankovic for 3, doesn't get it. And a foul's been called, a slight push in the back. So just get bailed out there. They get a first 14 on the shot clock, and it will be now Nikos Gikis is coming back in the game. Now, we did see him play quite often the Greek national team in the FIBA World Cup qualifiers. Remember, he was in the top 5 players leading assists in the Greek domestic league. Going down the ball now for Ike. Under the basket, Masholis goes up, doesn't get it. Good defensive pressure there by Martin Berning. And now, Telecom Baskets Bonn can push in transition. Fraser now gives this one up. Had the three-point intake and look for Martin Berning. Turns it over. Now Langford can push in transition. Try a double team now. Langford kicks this one out. Gikis first shot, takes it, doesn't get it. Slaughter with a big time rebound. It's out to Yankovic. Under 10 on the shot clock. Yankovic pump fakes in the lane, takes a smooth one off the backboard. Yankovic completely exposing Martin Berning on the man-to-man defense, coming down to a 7-point ball game. Well, Yankovic now goes up to 11 points. He's 3 for 4 from within the rainbow in the lane. Trey McKinney Jones gets fouled. He's going to go back to the free throw line. That was a smart cut to the basket by Jones. He's going to go back now for 2 shots. Well, look at this now. The pump fake step through. He just lobs it off the backboard. Nonetheless, gets it to drop. I think Coach Will Voigt just seen that Linos Chrysikopoulos is checked into the game for Ike, so looks like he's going to bring Subicic in as McKinney Jones missed a free throw. One thing about Trey McKinney Jones, he comes from a basketball and athletic family. His uncle Mark Jones played for the Orlando Magic in the NBA, along with his aunt Esther Jones, who was a track star who won the gold medal at the Barcelona 1992 Olympics. Puts Telecom Baskets Bonn up by 8 points. He makes the second free throw. 4:22 to go here in the third quarter. This now, no foul called, keeps it alive for Chrysikopoulos. Chrysikopoulos goes in. Goes right over Subicic. Coming down now to a 6-point deficit. Just over 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Man, this is game 2 of the round of 16 here in the Basketball Champions League. Ike winning game 1 back at the walk-up. Langford backs down. Trey McKinney Jones going to work right up against Keith Langford. He's putting on a show right now on the perimeter and in the low block. Now giving this one up to Yankovic. Telecom Baskets Bonn had 24 points in the paint. Keith Langford gets the foul called against Brandon Frazier. So now Langford will go to the free throw line. Watch this for a post-up move. The back down, spin out, beautifully got it done. That is a tough low block move. I mean, that is a mini Hakeem the Dream in a pink and white shirt. Well, Keith Langford, again, having a very respectful professional career now, originally from Fort Worth, Texas. 36 years of age, played at the University of Kansas. Last season, played at the arch rivals, who also shared the Waka Stadium. But right now, getting the business done for the Queen, the Kitchener Maverick of Ike. He's a 2 for 2 from the stripe. Gigas almost comes up with a steal. Forces a turnover. And Josh Saibu just got too casual. Well, a great coach once told me that when you bring the ball up in a full court situation where you've been brought up man to man, you just got to go pick one side and go by him. Too much crisscrossing over and you can turn the ball over, and that's what happened to Yoshigu Saibu. Langford pulls up. Keith Langford delivers. Cuts it down to a 4-point ball game. And all of a sudden, Ike just started to believe in a comeback. Sixers now gives us one back up to Saibu. Slaughter does a good job of hedging the screen, but right now, Bartolo takes a mid-range shot, doesn't get it. Way off the mark, gets his own rebound. A foul's been called. It's gone against Linos Christopoulos, I believe. Now, I think the thing they're trying to answer is, did the ball hit the rim? I don't think it did, actually. I think the officials now, I think a foul's been called, so it'll be sideline ball. Foul has been called, actually. I mean, seconds on the shot clock. The assumption is that the ball did hit the rim, but I don't think it did. But Telecom Baskets Bonn will have the ball. Subotic take on Slaughter. Saibu takes a three, way off the mark. Well, defense too physical right now from Ikitrini Mavri. Right now, we're going to timeout. This coach Will Voigt has to get his players composed. Ike now making a comeback. That's what Ike were known as back in 2018, the Basketball Champions League, the comeback kings of Europe, which was the last game of the regular season, in which a three-pointer by Dusan Shakota, beating Mehdi Bayreuth, getting him into the playoffs. And again, big-time three-pointer in the second game, which won them against Irabaswa Nimburg, and going on to the Final Four.
That play is done. We're 22 right now. We're being aggressive with traps when we can find it.
Look at that stat right there. I mean, that is one stat Coach Will Voigt would not be happy with. Telecom Baskets Bonn having 14 turnovers. Ike, and amazingly trailing this game by as many as 10 points at one point, with only 5 turnovers. His problem right now is too much isolation on the ball, not enough movement.
And as soon as you release it, we're into motion. Got it? That's our play if we need a set. Otherwise, 22 right here. Here we go.
Here we go, let's go. You got 3, 1, 2, 3. Pick it up.
The calm demeanor, again, the great personality of Coach Will Voigt that we've seen in his coaching philosophy, the success of the Angolan and Nigerian national teams, which has both been very excellent for their progression. Now will it work here to get Telecom Baskets Bonn the much-needed victory to force this playoff series into a Game 3 here in the Basketball Champions League. Down low to Slaughter, finds Linos Christopoulos under the basket. The big man can't finish it. Little spot solo comes up with a loose ball. Now, Telecom Baskets Bonn, it's more like 4 points, can start to build on the lead. And another foul's been called. Christopoulos has got no arguments. I mean, he gets tangled up with Subotic. So, the sideline ball now. One foul away from putting Bonn in the penalty. Subicic now, heavily guarded. He's off one screen, almost gets his pocket picked. Trey McKinney-Jones now pulls up, big time three. Doesn't get it. Langford with a rebound. Langford goes right by Yoman Polo Bartolo. Tries a lob pass, they turn it over. Transition now, Simons, big time three. Doesn't get it. Slaughter comes up with a loose ball. Now Ike, with under 140 to go, will slow this one down with Nikos Gikas. Now finds Gikas. Comes off one screen from Slaughter. Movement from Ike. Not enough movement as Gikas in the lane. Throws a lob. Slaughter comes up with it, catches it. He cuts it down to a 2-point ball game. That's much better. Again, it started with Nikos Gikas just making that penetration, making the Telecom Baskets Bonn defense down. End off now with Trey McKinney-Jones. Finds Subicic. Subicic tries his luck. Short, doesn't get it. Now Ike, with under a minute to go, can tie the game up with a 2 and possibly take the lead with a 3-pointer. Langford heavily guided by Polos Bartolo. Langford, big time three, doesn't get it. Transition now, Trey McKinney-Jones. Gets fouled, he'll go to the free throw line now for 2 shots. No doubt you can see he ran the fast break. I mean, probably would have learned the acceleration from his 1992 gold medalist auntie in the Olympics. So he'll now go back to the free throw line. Trey McKinney-Jones, been the most successful player from the stripe this evening for Telecom Baskets Bonn, making the most journeys. And the free throw stats have been unbelievable in favor of the hosts. He makes the first free throw. Seconds left now. Sorry, under 30 seconds. 8 seconds difference between the game clock and the shot clock. They trail this one by 4. Yankovic's wide open, pulls the trigger, doesn't get it. Hesitated on the 3-pointer, but now Telecom Baskets Bonn can get the last shot of the third quarter. Telecom Baskets Bonn, you want to put the ball in the hands of Yoshiko Saibu. Pick and roll now with Martin Brunig. Well, the mismatch with Gikas. In the corner, Simons, big three. Doesn't get it. At the end of the third quarter, Ike trailed this one by 4 points here. Game 2 of the round of 16 here in the Basketball Champions League. And they are possibly 10 minutes away from going to the quarterfinal, having a rematch against Irabasel Nymburk. We are 10 minutes away from game 3. We'll find out as we come back for the fourth quarter in a few moments. Let's take a look at some of the stats here right now. You can see Telecom Baskets Bonn 25 and 28 from the free throw line. 17 from downtown, like a 5 and 22, but the Queen, Kitsune Mavri, just doing a better job at field goals within the rainbow. And here are some highlights. Watch this missed layup by Yankovic. Completely fooled everyone. Himself there with the wraparound. That is big time internet meme blunder. Slow now had 6 early points, but had to go to the bench. He picked up his 4th personal foul. There you can see with a step back, but we'll be back, ladies and gentlemen, for a few moments for the fourth quarter. Where will this go? Will Ike be on their way to the quarterfinal? Will Bonn send it to a game 3? We'll find out soon. Well, fourth quarter underway now. Maro Chalmers along with Nikos Gikas. And again, you can see the 2-3 zone coming from Telecom Baskets Bonn. Here comes double team now, kicks out. That's why now have to be much quicker. Chalmers pulls up, big time three, doesn't get it. AEK really struggling from the perimeter, and I think Coach Wilvoit would be happy if they keep shooting the way they do. Right now, Telecom Baskets Bonn have to build on a 4-point lead. Simons now kicks up to Subicic. Brunig now setting the screens, but nobody really coming off them. Polos Bartolo in the lane, finds Brunig, turns it over. Now that went off Martin Brunig, so it should be AEK ball on the baseline. A wasted opportunity for Telecom Baskets Bonn. Is now AEK have another chance. Come back in this one. Finds Masholis. Gets this one out. Now here's where AEK do a better job of breaking down the zone. I mean, Gikas pulls up, big three, got it! Big time three-pointer, cuts it down to a 1-point lead. And the man who's been out with injury steps up big time for the Queen, but he commits a foul on the other end. That is a deep, deep three by Nikos Gikas. I mean, look at this. Comes off one screen, fakes it out. Kathise Kato Yatris, big time shot. Nikos Gikas. You gotta love this guy. In the lane now, gets the tip back then. Yoman Polos Bartolo just keeping Bonn in the lead by 3 points. This is the fourth quarter. This is the round of 16. Remember, Gikas big time three again. Oh, he got it! He ties the game up. Back-to-back threes by Danger Mouse. Big time shot by Nikos Gikas. Subicic now finding Martin Brunig. Brunig under the basket. Just too big, just too strong, just too good. The leading scorer for Telecom Baskets Bonn, who averages 11.5 points per game. Telecom Baskets Bonn in the lead by 2 points. He now has 12 points, 9 from the field. Well, Gikas has a hot hand. Surely not a third one. Pulls up for a long two. Yes, sir! Nikos Gikas, he means business. 8 points, he gets it. Gikas now 8 points all here in the fourth quarter. Kick out, Simons, huge three, doesn't get it. And now AEK can take the lead with Maro Chalmers. Chalmers right now, if you're AEK, you want to get the ball in the hands of Nikos Gikas because he's on fire. Christopoulos backs down, jump hook. Linos Christopoulos doesn't get it. Now Frazier on the ball. Takes this one out, Simons in the lane. Finds Martin Brunig. Foul has been committed with a reach-in by Masholis. And Masholis just got caught out there with the reach-in. Watch Nikos Gikas. I mean, this guy, Polikala, he is leading AEK back in this one. You can see the seal-off and a great move by Martin Brunig, using the athleticism to seal off. I mean, Marcus Slaughter is one of the toughest post defenders here in the Basketball Champions League. It ain't easy sealing him off. Baseline ball, and now an offensive foul's called, I believe. It's called against Yoman Polos Bartolo. Now goes up, Slaughter all the way, doesn't get it. Gets zone rebound under the basket, but gets the and one. He's gonna go to the free throw line now. Now the thing for AEK is Marcus Slaughter now for free throw shooting, but again, comes big. Well, with the loose ball. Great play, great hop step. Tough shot. Linos Christopoulos lays it off. Florida can't give him a 3-point lead if he makes a free throw, but I think what the Telecom Baskets Bonn players are trying to argue is that he stepped out of bounds. I'm not sure. I mean, can't see from this angle. Florida now takes the free throw, makes it, puts him up by 3 points. Only 7 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Here's a pick and pop now, Martin Brunig. Simon's big time three, puts it up, doesn't get it. Telecom Baskets Bonn have to be smart now. This is the quarter they must win. This is the game they must win. Send it to a third game. Zumapoulos Bartolo puts Nikos Gikas under pressure. Gikas in the lane, down to Chrisikopoulos. Gets Subotic under the basket. Chrisikopoulos still struggles. Martin Brunig now comes up with a loose ball. Brunig gets foul called by Nikos Gikas. Nikos Gikas originally expressed his dismay to the decision, but again kept his composure and raised his hand to acknowledge the call by the official. It's a true sportsman award, but I believe a technical foul's been called actually, and I think I'm not sure if Gikas got called for a technical foul because it looked like he raised his hand, but it's possible he said something to the official, but I'm not sure. But now Bonn with a free throw, they make it. Now will be sideline ball to Telecom Baskets Bonn. He's coming to this game and he's been an inspiration, but yeah, Nikos Gikas picks up his 4th personal foul, and that's a huge loss now to the Queen. 6:20 to go here in the game. Are we headed for Game 3 or Ike headed for the quarterfinals? We'll find out. Alec Brown now gives this one out to Benjamin Simons. Poulos Bartolo crosses over down the middle. No foul called. Alec Brown gets fouled. We'll go to the free throw line now for 2 shots. Well, started with a penetration. So technical foul was called against Nikos Gikas. So it must have been something that he said to the official, but costly move by Nikos Gikas. Well, these are big time free throws now for Alec Brown. He can tie the game up if he makes these both. Oh, he missed it. And again, deja vu. Are we seeing what happened at the end of Game 1? With Telecom Baskets Bonn choke at the free throw line. I mean, it's only their 4th miss from the free throw line this evening, and then the man who was drafted by the Phoenix Suns makes the 2nd one. He spent last season with Nizhny Novgorod, so he has a bit of experience here in the basketball champs. He also played for the Movistar Estudiantes back in 2018. Again, he's got to come big, got to make those free throws. You can see 27-31. Jesus with the ball, kicks out. Chalmers down the middle, traveling violation, turns it over. Good movement now by Bonn, but they're almost under 10 seconds. Sloan kicks this one to Martin Brunig. Brunig gets his pocket picked. Masholas with a steal. Smart decision by the veteran to slow this one down. His team lead by 1, 73-72. Masholas has the mismatch against Trey McKinney-Jones in the lane. Masholas got it. Puts Ike back up by 3 points. And the veteran making the big time shot. McKinney-Jones now gives this one up. Down low to Alec Brown. Alec Brown gets the M1, and he's going to go to the free throw line. Can he tie this game up with under 5 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter? Game 2 of the round of 16. Ike leading this series 1-0. It's the best of 3. Will Voigt again. Everything he can right now to Ike. He's got Zumapoulos Bartolo in. He's going to be there. Defensive hustle player. Well, that was Nikos Gikas' 4th personal foul of the game. Well, again, they chokes under the free throw line. And that's 2 missed free throws from Alec Brown. Again, if he makes those 2 free throws that he missed, it's a 1-point lead now to Telecom Baskets Bonn, but we're up by 1. 11 seconds now on the shot clock. 45 to go in the game. Takes a big time 3, doesn't get it. Well, now Telecom Baskets Bonn can take the lead here. Carlos Bartolo almost lost it under control, but this is where Telecom Baskets Bonn have to use the pick and roll now with Donald Sloan. Sloan takes a wild shot. It's a block on it, so will be baseline ball. Great defensive play by Masholis. Into Paulus Bartolo, gives it to Martin Brunig. 6 on the shot clock now. Brunig crosses over. Brunig turns it over. A costly error by Telecom Baskets Bonn. Another chance to take the lead, and they blow it up. Eichmann now kicks this one out. So Ike now just have to spread the floor and kicks out. Langford, 18 feet. Keith Langford, nothing but net. Puts Ike back up by 3 points. And this man gets buckets whenever, wherever he wants. 20 points in the game. Alec Brown, go in the basket, didn't take it. Inside the Martin Brunig now. Here's Bartolo. Sloan, big 3, got it! Ties it up, 77 apiece. 3:30 to go here in the 4th quarter. Well, Donald Sloan, 9 points here, all in the 2nd half. Had to leave the game in the 3rd quarter as he picked up his 4th personal, but he's come ready to play. Big time shot. Keith Langford now, Mr. Buckets on the ball. Pump fakes, gets this one up in the air. Langford down the lane, Langford gets a foul. He's gonna go to the free throw line now for 2 shots. Oh, watch Donald Sloan get that quick release up. It's good. Ties this game up. Watch Donald. You can see Langford, Mr. Buckets, whenever, wherever he wants. Cash money. Points in the game now. Again, this guy had a very wonderful career here in Europe, playing for some of the top teams all over the continent. Again, he makes this one. It's a huge free throw with 3:08 to go here in the 4th quarter. Oh, he missed the 2nd one. Again, they give up the rebound. Show us pump fakes in the lane, under the basket, and 1. Well, it goes from bad to worse right now for Telecom Baskets Bonn. They give up the offensive rebound. And they get called for an and-1. Now Marcus Slaughter. Alec Brown could get called for an unsportsmanlike foul there. It could be a case they probably give him the leeway. They lost his balance, but, well, they called it. So look at the free throw. It makes it 4-point lead, and they're going to get the ball back. It comes from not boxing out on the free throws and just allowing Ike that opportunity to get back in it. And they were trailing by 10 points at one point in the 4th quarter. Well, Telecom Baskets Bonn. You got Brandon Frazier, Trey McKinney-Jones, Donald Sloan, Alec Brown, and Brunig out there. 1 second, fade away, doesn't get it. Big time rebound. Now trailing by 4. Plenty of time left, under 3 minutes. Frazier going all the way. Frazier, wrap around, follow up. Trey McKinney-Jones cuts it down to a 2-point ball game. Well, Telecom Baskets Bonn fighting for everything they've got left in the tank, desperately trying to push this to a third game. Jesus now coming with a handoff with Langford. Langford, they can't give him any time or space on the ball. They got to make sure. 5 seconds on the shot clock. In the lane, goes up, tough shot. Doesn't get it. Slaughter with a rebound, and that's a 15 foul. So now Marcus Slaughter will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Again, deja vu for Telecom Baskets Bonn because Alec Brown fouls out of the game. The bigger problem for them is when they were dominating the rebounds, Marcus Slaughter is killing them on the offensive boards. Let's just keep an eye in the lead. Now they were going to bring Benjamin Simons in. So Bonn going with a small lineup. Really having that other center to go to. Subotic, I guess. But again, they probably got Benjamin Simons out there just to give them that extra threat from the perimeter. I mean, you want all your best shooters in the fourth quarter, that's for sure. Well, this is big time now from Slaughter, making those big time free throws. 3-point lead now for AEK. He can put him up by 4 if he makes this one. Doesn't get it. It was an early entrance, so will be Telecom Baskets Bonn lead. Bull, sorry, with 2:07, trailing this one by 3 points now here in the fourth quarter. Slow now on the ball, spins around, goes up, no foul called. Goes out of bounds, but will be. Telecom Baskets ball on the baseline. Great defensive play, and Sloan does a good job here. Chalmers puts his hand at the right time. Doesn't go out of bounds against Telecom Baskets Bonn. Sloan now inbound in this one. Finds Trey McKinney-Jones under the basket, he lays it up, and it's a 1-point ball game. Again, he is saving Telecom Baskets Bonn for the last 4 points. Jesus now on the ball. Puts up one screen, doesn't use it. Here's the mismatch. They want to give him to Langford. Got it by Sloan. Langford, tough shot. Does he get the drop? Well, wherever he wants, Mr. Buckets. Langford, unstoppable. Frazier goes to the basket. Wild shot, no foul called. They almost turn it over. Telecom Baskets Bonn have to keep the discipline. You can see Coach Will Voigt saying, don't foul them. This is coming up to set a screen. If it comes off another one. Here's the mismatch. 4 on the shot clock now. Langford steps back, big 3, doesn't get it. Oh, they give it up again, and Ike don't box out. Yankovic comes up with a loose ball, and he puts Ike up by 5 points. Well, they did the hard work. They forced Keith Langford into a tough shot. But again, Telecom Baskets Bonn give up another offensive rebound. Well, that is just huge. Well, big timeout now for Coach Will Voigt. We'll see what he has to say.
We don't need to go for the 3, okay? We're going elbow here. They're going to be glued to you. So you're coming in here. That's the elbow catch. So 1, 5, 2, 4. Ben's coming in. You're going to hit. I just want to adjust this. Instead of coming out this way, Sloan here. If he's wide open, you can give it there. Otherwise, Ben, fall fake there, Ben catch, you come and get that thing on a handoff, aggressive to the rim. Now, once you score quickly, solid. Rebound and run. Rebound and run. Here we go. Strong. 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. We're starting the weak side. Yeah, I'm on the weak side.
Sideline ball now. Telecom Baskets Bonn. 1 minute away for a quarterfinal for Ike. Or 1 minute away from a third game. McKinney Jones, no foul. This time the foul's called. No offensive foul's been called. Well, Telecom Baskets Bonn have self-destructed here in the fourth quarter. A tough shot taken. Now Marcus Slaughter's going to go back to the free throw line. 2 shots. He has been excellent for the free throw line this evening. Telecom Baskets Bonn, for them, it's the simple stuff. I mean, definitely being undersized and not having those big fellas to compete with the size of Slaughter. As I mentioned, Dre Grant. Oh, he missed it. Oh, the pressure gets to Marcus Slaughter, but the problem now for Telecom Baskets Bonn is they don't box out. They can't rebound. You can see Ike now. That's Keith Langford to come back in. If he makes it, he puts him up by 6. If he misses, Telecom Baskets Bonn have to get a rebound. Takes the free throw, gets it. 6-point ball game, minute left, plenty of time. On Brennig now, gives up in the lane, takes a tough one. Again, no foul called, poor shot taken. And Ike, again, will slow this one down. No need to immediately foul him. Down the shot clock now, Langford eyeing this one down, got it. Takes a tough fade away, doesn't get it. Well, Telecom Baskets Bonn, they need a quick bucket. Donald Sloan all the way, no foul called. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is how it goes this evening. Keith Langford gets fouled. Mr. Buckets, whenever, wherever he wants, is going back to the free throw line. Well, Telecom Baskets Bonn, but 1 rebound away from having it a 3-point ball game with 1:30 to go, and Yankovic robbed them with an offensive rebound under the basket. Put him up by 5. Got it. Mr. Buckets puts him up by 7 with 11.2 seconds left. Got them both. 8-point lead now. Coach Will Voigt wants to call timeout. I'm not sure what happened there, but it's a timeout now to Telecom Baskets Bonn. Again, it's just the simple things for them. It's boxing out and.
He's going to drill the shit out of this guy here. Okay. For some reason you don't have it. There's the flash here. Pin down, 5 to 3.
Bench boys for this game. We talked about the depth and having 2 players at every position. That's a sign of a team that wants to repeat and get a second championship.
Immediate denials. Just assume
Depth they've got at every position, from the backcourt to the inside players. I mean, look at the backcourt as we mentioned. Kendrick Gray hasn't even played that much here in the second half. Mario Chalmers, Nikos Zizis, Keith Langford, Nikos Gikas, and Coach Ilya Papatheodoro, like a kid in a candy store with so many options to go to. It must be fun just watching this team in practice. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us here at the Telecom Dome. What an atmosphere it was. What a game it was. So you can see Macholis is fouled by Martin Brennig with 3.8 to go, as Ike lead this one by 6 points. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going back in history. We're going to go see what happened 2 years ago, as Ike will be taking on Basketball Nürnberg for another quarterfinal here in the Basketball Champions League. We thank you for joining us here at the Telecom Dome. Well, backboard shot at the end as Ike win this one 90-86, and then they're on their way to another quarterfinal. Will Ikitrini Mavri, can they get their second championship? We'll find out as they go on to the next round. Visikopoulos, good game he had tonight, along with Boyan Subotic. Dre Grant chipped in the last two games, playing some big minutes, especially down low for the Queen. Martin Brunig, top scorer, wasn't enough for him this evening. Shika Saibu had 20 points in the last game, wasn't able to get the same result here. The biggest stat in the game, obviously, was the bench points. 8 of those coming from the Queen, of course. Mara Chalmers, one of those players coming off the bench, along with Keith Langford. Langford being that top scorer in this game. Well, it is time now. Ike, another journey. Win this series 2-0. They're on their way to the quarterfinals. They'll play Irabaswell Nymburk. The Gigas can celebrate as they're on their way back to Athens. Look at them celebrate. They say to each other, we are Ikitrini Mavri, Emis Imaste, the Queen. We just have some post-game interviews with some of the players and just hear their reactions and thoughts. Gigas really led the surge with 8 points in the fourth quarter. I mean, he had a hot hand, to say the least. Ike was 7 for 27 from downtown, 25 for 44 from within the rainbow. 19 for 30 from the free throw line. The problem for Telecom Baskets Bonn was just didn't score enough inside. They did out-rebound Ike. Ike came up with some big offensive rebounds at the end. You can see 13-7. Telecom Baskets Bonn, I mean, strange stats at 21 for 10 assists against Ike. It's just a dime moments. Here is Keith Langford, Mr. Buckets.
The difference is just, a collective effort. I think you've seen anybody who's followed our team through the Champions League has seen us fight through adversity. Different guys step up in different moments, different lineups, and I think we did that one more time tonight.
Is that a matter of experience as well? You played probably not the best game, but you were there when you needed to.
Right, and that's the thing. Just to make plays and not to be afraid of the moment. Take the shots when they need to be aggressive. Be aggressive when you need to be, and then let the chips fall where they may. So that's what we did. We had veterans and a nice mix of young talent. Shout out to Nikos Gigas. He was huge tonight.
So now you're qualified for the quarterfinals. Next up, Nymburk from Czech Republic. Huge defense. How keen are you on making the next step?
Well, I think, they're one of the, high-scoring teams. They have been very experienced in this competition. I think this is their first time getting to this point, so they're going to be excited. They have the home court advantage, so we need to rely on our experience, our grit, and it's going to be interesting. We're ready. I'm ready too.
All the best. Enjoy. Thanks
very much.
Well, big words there for Keith Langford. He knows that his team didn't play as well as they should have, but again, they dug deep and they played really well. He was top scorer 25. Marcus Slaughter chipping in 17 points, and Yankovic being the third top scorer for the Yellow Blacks. As they can look forward now to another quarterfinal matchup against Irabaswell Nymburk. Remember, it was a team they met 2 years ago in the 2018 Basketball Champions League, where they went on to be the champions that year. Kendrick Ray was a member of Irabaswell Nymburk. Well, Nikos Gigas pulling up a big-time three. Yatris. 8 points here in the fourth quarter. Coming off that screen with Dinos Chrysikopoulos. I mean, downtown Mergalo. Big shot by Nikos Gigas. And Gigas now pulling up. Charisto. Agapo, Nikos Gigas. Gotta love this guy. So he's just now throwing the love pass. And again, Ron Brunig just trying to finish under the basket. It's a beautiful love by Subotic, but again, Martin Brunig just not enough tonight to surge on Telecom Baskets Bonn to push it to a third game. It's that kind of evening here tonight in the Telecom Dome. Because Gigas now pulling up for another big-time shot. Mr. Reliable. Well, he was the difference in the fourth quarter that brought Ike back in, and I guess there's the pick and roll and the hop step by Slaughter, but coming up with that loose ball and going up, getting the and one. Chalmers now kicking that one, and Langford, whenever, wherever he wants, gets those buckets. Well, that is his middle name, Keith Buckets Langford. Well, Knight played big tonight. You can see Langford getting fouled there at the end and hitting those two big free throws, but the game was done and dusted then and there. And Ike, as fantastic as they've been all season, there you can see Emis Imaste to Ike. We are the boys, the yellow and black, the queen. We're going to play Irabaswa Nimburg. Ecos Geekers there you can see celebrating. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us here in the Telecom Dome. But for now, sorry, and it's a good night here. We'll see you for more games. We have a rematch. Irabaswa Nimburg, they'll be taking on Ike. A rematch. Will the boys from Czech Republic get the revenge that they got, which they gave the game away 2 years ago? Or will Kendrick Ray now playing for the other side, playing for Ike, show Irabaswa Nimburg what they lost? We will find out. It's the Basketball Champions League. We thank you for joining us. More games to come.
Bis zu 6.000 Leute.